Hey folks, Nick Harrington here. Today is April 30th, 2023, and this is your Lake Sharpe fishing report. Kind of a recap from the Lake Sharpe Showdown that was this past weekend. That was hosted by the fishing crew and Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce. So first off, thank you very much for hosting that. It's great to have a tournament back on Lake Sharpe this time of year. I'll just kind of dive right into it. Pretty much for tournament mentality, folks did one of two things. They either stayed in town, and when I say town, I mean between the Bad River up to the dam and Stilling Basin, or they made a run. And when I say made a run, quite a ways. Mason and I were one of the ones that made a run. We didn't feel that the water was, we felt it was too dirty, kind of anywhere above Fort George. We felt that the water was just too dirty from Fort George to Bad River. But the stretches, the further down you got, the better the watercolor got, the more confident we felt that we could get bites. But then again, there were other boats that stayed in town. They fished the Stilling Basin, they fished Marion's Gardens, probably some fished the Bad River. I mean, they had good bites too. There really was no right or wrong answer in this type of. It was just what mentality you were going to take, what bite you were going to be on. Like I said, we went south. We went quite a ways. We were trolling crankbaits yesterday, and the fish that we were on, we knew they were good ones. We put them in the box. We put 3 in the box right away. We had, I think, a 19 and a half or 18 and 3/4, and then one that was about 17 inches. We knew they were good fish. We knew we weren't going to get a lot of bites, and unfortunately, we left 2 bites out there that would have been our 5 fish limit, and probably would have put us right up about that 8, 9, 10 pounds, right where the leaderboard would have been after day one. 11 pounds was leading after day one. And then that wind, when it turned on, it got so brutal, it got so rough, and more importantly, it got dirty down there. It kind of blew the water where we were fishing. It just blew that sediment down. It got really dirty. So this morning when we ran back there again, we knew we could put together a 10-pound bag there, and it was just so dirty today. We trolled crankbaits on them. We bottom bounced. We put it right in front of their faces, and all we could catch was about a 16-inch sauger. I mean, the 40-mile-an-hour winds. It got so dirty, but. Again, there were boats that ran even farther below us. Below West Bend was not out of the question. There were boats that went all the way down below West Bend. So just different mentalities, different bites. Good news is it sounds like fishing's getting better. It sounds like fishing in town was pretty good. Folks were catching 5 fish limits, whether that was in town or running down. So that's good news. Hopefully this bite's coming around. We just really need that water to clear up. We need more current. Saturday, the water even dropped in the middle of the tournament. Like we took off at 7, but at 1 o'clock, I want to say it dropped a couple feet. So that made fishing tough too. That didn't help anything. But like I said, the biggest was that watercolor. We knew we had good watercolor yesterday. Yesterday morning, at least, we put them in right away, and I don't think we caught a keeper since 10:30, aside from that one sauger today. 10:30 yesterday. So I mean, that's how important that watercolor is. But overall. Good fishing overall. Is like I said, I think it's getting better. I think we're getting there. It's good to hear folks are bringing in 5 fish, catching more. But yeah, time to go rest. That run was a little rough and 40-mile-an-hour winds Saturday. So this fishing report was kind of brought to you by Tylenol, Icy Hot, and probably Cetaphil moisturizer too for my face and hands because it was a little chilly too. So overall, good fishing. It's time to go lay down and kind of rest up after this one. Take care, folks. Good fishing.